Now then, how are you getting on? So today we're going to take another look at how the Japanese improved on the cover designs of Elvis's albums in the 70s. In my last video I showed you the Aloha from Hawaii album, the second pressing, which is the best example. So today we're going to look at what I call the Deluxe Gatefold sleeves. Deluxe because they're gatefold sleeves, but with a little extra. So let's get on with it. Okay, so let's begin with the big four. That's the Way It Is, on stage February 1970, Elvis in Person, and the TV special. I say the big four because those four records were re-released many times in the 1970s and 1980s. So this is the first edition of That's the Way It Is, which I showed you in my first video, with the gold obi and the Japanese title, You Don't Have to Say You Love Me. And I'll just very quickly show you the portrait in here. I've got a finger Johnny on today to help me turn these pages. And the portrait in the middle, you can see Elvis's head is on the right side, and the text is in gold print. And that was followed very quickly by this obi design here, the red, white and blue obi design. And there are actually three different versions of this obi, and this one here, you can see in the top, at the top here, there's some text in a box, and that tells you that there's a special offer coupon attached. And if you look on the other side of the obi, you can actually see there is some writing here, and this gives you the details of the special offer, which was the presents were a booklet containing a complete Elvis discography and Elvis's story, the story of Elvis. And if you can just look here, is that coming through? You can see there's a date there. It's got 46, 7 and 20. 46 is the year 1971 in the Japanese dating system. So that tells you that this version was available through the spring and summer of 1971. And if we turn over to look at the portrait, you can see that the lettering is green and Elvis's face is on the left side. Otherwise it's the same as the first pressing, with the Japanese liner notes over here and English lyrics over there. This one is very similar. The obi text at the top, the text in the box has gone, and there is some Japanese text here, and that just says, You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, Elvis Presley. Now, the actual title of the album in Japanese had changed. So on the first gold obi it was You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, but now if you look down here you can see it says Volume 1, and the black text here, the big black text, says Elvis on Stage. So this is Elvis on Stage, Volume 1. And there is a third version of this obi, and in the third version this part here under the catalogue number is just blank, it's just a white space. So altogether there are 9 different versions of That's the Way It Is that I know of. And they're mainly cover and obi variations. I think there are about 4 different records. Alright, so let's move on to the next one, which is On Stage 1970. And this is a 1972 pressing. And so when Elvis on Tour was released, the big 4, That's the Way It Is, On Stage, In Person, and the TV special were released again. And this is actually my favourite series of all the different series of those 4 albums. And you have a really solid laminated gatefold sleeve, but when you turn over, you get a nice photograph here from the Elvis on Tour documentary. The booklet's still here, so you've got a photo from the TV special, track titles in English and Japanese, Japanese liner notes, more Japanese liner notes, and the lyrics in English, and a few photographs. And I'll just show you this picture. This is a nice photograph here of Elvis sipping on champagne. And at the back, you have another shot from Elvis on tour. Now these shots, these big black and white photographs, these are all different depending on the release. So this was released in about 1972. I don't have a copy of the original, but I do have the Obi from the original. And the title of the album in 1970 was Presley on Stage, 1970. All right, so this is the original Obi, kind of a creamy red and blue color, and then it came out again with this red, white, and blue Obi. And another copy of On Stage I have is this is from the mid 1970s or later, and by this point the cover had become unlaminated, and it's a little bit simpler on the inside. So same again with the song titles, Japanese liner notes, a couple of photographs, more liner notes, and the English lyrics. But it's lost the Elvis on tour photographs. The back cover, however, is the same as this one. I forgot to show you that one. Yeah, so the back cover is also from Elvis on tour. And the back cover remains the same. And if we just go back to the Obi again, if you look at the bottom here, you can see it says Volume 2. So this is Elvis on Stage Volume 2. So that's the way it is with Volume 1. On Stage was Volume 2. And On Stage Volume 3 was actually Elvis in person. Now I don't have any copies of Elvis in person, but I do have the Obi. Red, white, and blue Obi. And as you can see down here, Volume 3. So this is Elvis on Stage, Volume 3. Okay, and the last one in the Big Four is the TV special. Now the TV special was known as Presley on Stage. Very confusing, right? Elvis on Stage Volumes 1, 2, 3, and then Presley on Stage. So this is the first edition with the gold Obi again. Nice solid laminated gatefold cover, turn over, nice shot from the TV special, song titles underneath the Obi, Japanese liner notes, nice color portrait, more Japanese liner notes, English lyrics, and it actually has the Japanese lyrics as well. And more lyrics, English and in Japanese. And the back cover is the same as the American version. Okay, the next copy I have of that one is from the mid 1970s or later. Okay, so the laminated cover has gone, but we still have the gatefold cover. Again, photo, song titles, Japanese Japanese liner notes. These are the same basically. Same liner notes, same lyrics, but it's lost the color portrait. And you can see on the back there's a totally different picture from the On Stage documentary. Alright, okay, so let's move on to Madison Square Garden. Again, gatefold cover where there was no gatefold in other countries. Same format, Japanese titles and English titles. There are fewer photographs in this one. Maybe they're trying to save money on royalties. But what they've done instead is use illustrations. So Japanese liner notes. More liner notes. But again, these are just all illustrations, not photographs. And here you have the lyrics, just in English on this occasion. And the back cover. So there are at least 5 different versions of the Madison Square Garden album. I've just got this one at the moment. Another album which was released many times over the years was Blue Hawaii. So initially Blue Hawaii came in a single pocket sleeve mono version and stereo version, but in about 1971 they re-released it in this nice gatefold cover. So you turn over, some nice shots from the movie, Japanese liner notes, and then you get these nice colour pictures, more liner notes, more photos, and then the English lyrics at the back. And the back cover is the familiar design. Right, so that was early 70s. Then the manufacturer changed, and it was re-released in 1972, I think, 72 or 73, with a different catalogue number. It's still got the laminated gatefold cover, and inside is almost the same. The one difference, quite a major difference, is there's no, there is still the colour portrait and this picture from the movie and the lyrics. So the only thing that seems to have changed is the catalogue number with the manufacturer. Okay, and this one is from the mid-1970s or later. The black obi here, and this time it's lost to the laminated sleeve and the RCA label. All these records are on the RCA label. Same inside cover, but this time there's no colour pictures, just the lyrics and the liner notes. And the back cover is the same. And the last one, recorded live on stage in Memphis. So there are at least 5 versions of this album out there. Once again, it's on a gatefold. It's in a gatefold sleeve, and just like Madison Square Garden, there's illustrations and not so many pictures. However, you do get this nice portrait in the middle. More Japanese liner notes, and the lyrics at the back. And the back cover is the same as the American version. So there you go. That's quite an impressive bunch of Deluxe Gatefold sleeves. I'm going to do one more video in this series looking at how the Japanese improved on the packaging of Elvis's albums. And in that last video, I'm going to show you 4 or 5 different examples. But that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.